Hello, we are talking about how to connect your business bank accounts and credit cards to QuickBooks Online. There is a chance that you already did this during the initial setup wizard, but in case you didn't, this is the process. So let me show you quickly in the banking center, this is where your accounts are connected. You'll see them across the top and all your transactions feed in below. There's one step I like to do before we link the accounts, and I think it makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to do this step. You can do it while you're setting up the account, but I find it just to be easy to get it out of the way. So let's go over to accounting on the left sidebar, and we're going to go into our chart of accounts. And let's say we're going to link in a checking account, a new checking account. So we'll just go to new, and basically I'm just creating the QuickBooks account for this checking account that we're going to connect. Because when you go through the setup, it's going to ask you to choose a QuickBooks account. So this is where I'm setting up that QuickBooks account. So pretty simple. It's just a bank account under account type, and under detail type, it's a checking. And what I like to do is just sort of name it what it's called in my bank account. So maybe it's called business checking, and I like to put the last four numbers of the account just so I can easily recognize it in the feed. So let's just say that's 4215, and then hit save. So now I can see in my chart of accounts that that account is connected. Now we go back over to the banking center, left sidebar, and we simply just click this link account button. Here I'm going to choose the bank that I'm banking with for this checking account. So let's just say it's Chase Bank. So I would just select that here. It can't go any further because I'd have to enter in my banking login, but you'll just enter in your login credentials that you use to log into your bank. Very simple. And then it's going to ask you which accounts you want to connect. So maybe it's a checking, just a checking, maybe it's a checking and a savings, maybe there's a credit card too. You can check any of the accounts that you want to link into QuickBooks. And then you're simply just going to choose the QuickBooks account that you want it to link up with. So you remember in that step that we created our checking account. So we would just choose this account in the dropdown, make sure the numbers match, make sure it actually is the checking account. So you would choose that next to your bank checking account, you would choose this QuickBooks account. So pretty simple. The last question it's going to ask you is how far you want to bring back the data. So that kind of depends on your circumstances. A lot of times you're going to be bringing back to the beginning of the year, or you might be bringing back to when you opened the account. So it's kind of up to you when you need that data, but just make sure you kind of think that through when you want the transactions to come in from. But you'll select that date. Let's say it's the beginning of this year, and then you'll hit OK, and it will feed all of those transactions in going back to the date that you chose. And you will then see all of your transactions feeding in down here, and they're ready to categorize. So you'll do that same process for any savings accounts, credit cards. You can link up PayPal. Maybe you have a line of credit. So pretty much any like banking, credit card, PayPal type thing can link in here to QuickBooks, and then you'll be set to start categorizing your transactions.